Hi friends, it's Miss Cindy. I'm back for a very, very fun story today. Today we're going to read a story. It is a fairy tale story. It is a South African folk story, which a folk story is kind of like a fairy tale or a nursery rhyme. It's just from another country. And this comes from the country of South Africa. And it is called Abiyoyo. It's one of my favorite books. And this story was adapted by Pete Seeger, and the illustrations were done by Michael Hayes. Now in this story, we're going to use a couple of props to help us. In our story, there is a ukulele. Does anybody know what a ukulele is? A ukulele is like a little guitar. It makes music. And there's a magic wand. So you'll be listening for those sounds during the story. So let's get started. Once upon a time, there was a little boy who played the ukulele. Around town he'd go, clank, clank, clunk, clunk, clink, clank. He didn't play it very well. And the grown-ups would say, "Take that thing out of here." And not only that, but the boy's father got into trouble too. The boy's father was a magician. He did magic, and he had a magic wand. And he would go zoop, zoop, and make things disappear. Oh, would you like to be able to have a magic wand and make things disappear? That'd be really cool, wouldn't it? But he played too many tricks on people. He'd come up to someone about to drink a nice cold glass of something, and zoop, he would make it disappear. That's not a very nice thing to do, is it? Someone doing a hard day's work, zip, zip, zip. He's just trying to cut the log with his saw. And up comes the father with his magic wand and zoop. No saw. He made it disappear. Now how is he going to get his work done? Bet he wasn't very happy with the father when he did that. And he'd come up to someone about to sit down after a hard day's work and zoop. No chair. He made it disappear. That wasn't very kind either, was it? People said to the father, "You get out of here. Take your magic wand and your tricks, and you and your son just get." And the boy and his father were ostracized. That's a really big word. Do you know that word, ostracized? Can you say that? Ostracized. That means that they made him live on the edge of the town. They wouldn't even let him back into the town because of all the tricks they were playing and all the noise they were making. They said, "Get out of our town." Now in this town, they used to tell stories. And the old people used to tell stories about a giant that lived in the old days. And they used to tell about a giant called Abiyoyo. And they said that he was as tall as a tree and that he could eat people up. Of course, nobody believed that story, but they told it anyway. Now one day, the sun rose blood red over the hill. And the first people got up and they looked out the window and they saw a big shadow in front of the sun. And they could feel the whole ground shake. Do you see the shadow in front of the sun? What do you think that could be? Women screamed, "Ah!" and men fainted. Oh. Run for your lives! Abiyoyo's coming! Here he comes. Maybe that story was real after all. I don't know. He comes to a sheep pasture and he grabs a whole sheep. He ate the sheep. And he comes to a cow pasture and he grabs a whole cow. Men yelled, "Grab your most precious possessions and run, run!" Just then, the boy and his father woke up. "Hey, Pa, what's coming over the fields?" "Why, son, that's Abiyoyo. Only if I could get him to lie down, I could make him disappear." That would be good if he could make him disappear. And the boy says, "Come with me, Pa." And he grabbed his father by one hand, and the father got his magic wand, and the boy gets his ukulele, and they run across the fields. I wonder how they're going to get Abiyoyo. The people yelled, "Don't go near him. He'll eat you alive." Do you think they should try it? Or do you think they should stay away? What would you do if it was you? There was Abiyoyo. He had long fingernails because he never cut them. And he had slobbery teeth because he never brushed them. And he had stinky feet because he never washed them. And he had matted hair because he never combed it. And he raised up with his claws. And just then, the boy whipped out his ukulele. And he started to play. Abiyoyo, 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 Abiyoyo. Well, you know, the giant had never heard a song about himself before, and a foolish grin swept over his face, and the giant started to dance. Abiyoyo, 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 yo-yo, yo-yo. And the boy played faster. Abiyoyo, 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 yo-yo. And the giant got all out of breath, and he staggered down and he fell to the ground. Yo-yo, yo-yo, yo-yo. And then the father steps up and zoop. And zoop. And people looked out their window. He's gone. Abiyoyo disappeared. He did it. His son and the father, the magician, did it. They made Abiyoyo disappear. And the people ran across the fields and they lifted the boy and his father up on their shoulders. "Hey, come back to town. Bring your darn ukulele. We don't even care anymore." And they all sang, "Abiyoyo, Abiyoyo, Abiyoyo, yo-yo, yo-yo." Abiyoyo, 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 yo-yo, yo-yo. Abiyoyo, 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 yo-yo, yo-yo. And did you guys like that nursery rhyme fairy tale story about Abiyoyo? It's a little bit different than the other stories we've heard about giants. Remember we talked about Jack and the Beanstalk. There was a giant in that story, and we made our beanstalks to go up into the sky like Jack. And there was a mean old troll. He's kind of like the giant because the giant was mean and he looked kind of yucky and slobbery, kind of like that troll in the story, the Three Billy Goats Gruff. I really like this story. And later, we're going to do an activity that you're really going to enjoy. So make sure after you hear the story that you come back so we can make our activity today. It's going to be Abiyoyo puppets. They're so much fun to make and play with. So I hope you guys enjoyed the story, and I'll see you back in a little bit. Bye, guys.